edit our Spaceman image. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into shared drives, Delmar Digital Photo, go to the period 3 Digital Photo 1 folder, theatrical light painting, and you're going to select the Spaceman group and you're going to copy the entire folder. Go back to your drive, Digital Photo 1, and then go ahead and paste in your files. Okay, so once that's done, then what you're going to do is you're going to go in and you're going to go back into your drive, file open. You're going to go into your Spaceman group. Go to the single image edit. That's where we're going to start with. That's what we're starting with first. So open that up. And you're going to open all 3 of these images by holding down the control key. And then you click on open. And then we're going to start with this image. First, this is going to be on the background layer. So then we're going to go to our blue background image and we're going to do a select all, Control A. And we're going to go to edit. And you want to make sure you select copy merged because we want to copy layer 1 and background. So both the ground area as well as the cliff wall to the right. So we want to make sure we're copying every layer here. So go back to our Spaceman and we're going to go edit, paste. And before we move on, I notice a few little things that I want to kind of retouch on here. So I'm going to go to Window Navigator, make sure my navigator is open, and I'm going to come over here to my right and I'm going to just kind of take out these little white things I notice in the back that are just kind of distracting. So if we back out, we can see them in the back there. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer and I'm going to take these out. These little rocks here, okay? And a little bit of these little white specks on the sand, just a little bit. Whoops, I don't know how I got into that. Let's go back to my cloning tool, deselect, okay. Just take out a few little white specks I'm noticing. And I'm just gonna zoom back out that maybe a little bit, make my brush just a little bigger. I'm noticing like a few things here that I wanna take out in the seaweed. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the blending mode to lighten. And we're going to mostly see our Spaceman, and we're going to see that if we can zoom in a little bit closer, we're going to see that our blue background doesn't fully line up with our Spaceman image. So the camera moved a little bit, okay? And it's going to be okay because what we're going to do is we're going to select layer 1 and we're going to come over here and use our little move tool. And we're going to make sure show transform controls are selected up here so that we have a nice little box around this. And we're going to move the image down just a little bit like this. Okay, and then we're going to back up and we're going to check that out. Yeah, and just moving it down a little bit. It's okay if the cliff's edge is a little bit black. That's fine. It just means that we didn't get the blue light all the way up to the top, which is fine. And then, all right, so then we're going to click enter. And now what we're going to do is we are going to add we're going to select layer 1 and we're going to add a layer mask down here to layer 1. And we want to remove some of the blue background from our Spaceman and just a few different areas because our Spaceman is kind of still blending in a little bit here. So what we want to do is we want to select our brush tool, and let's make our brush tool maybe like 200 pixels or something. And think we need to do white over black. Let me double check. Is that white over black? Do we need to do white over black, or is it black over white? Let's go in a little bit closer and we can see what we're doing here. Yeah, we want to do the black over the white. And what we're going to do is we're going to start down here with the shoes. We're going to bring his foot forward a little bit. We're going to go up the pants a little bit, and we're going to make sure that, and we're going to bring the shoe forward a little bit on the right side as well, so we can see that shoe. We're going to go up the pants a little bit. We're going to go down the side of his body a little bit. And just make sure that everything, I'm going to go around the white light at the bottom here. And just want to make sure, you can see that there's a little bit of like a kind of a darker gray here over here. And I have my opacity at like 20%. We could probably put it up to about 50% just to make sure that we're getting all this in. We want to see a little bit of white on the seaweed here. Okay, and then we're just going to back out a little bit. And I might put in a little bit more of the blue, like around this white area where I had taken it off. I'm just going to put this back in just a little bit here. Okay. And I'm just going to turn this on and off so we can see what we've got going here. Maybe a little bit on the side of his pants and back. Just kind of. And then I'm going to turn this on and off, and it looks pretty good. And he looks pretty good as well. He looks like he's blended in pretty well. Okay, so then the next step is to add in our star trail. So we're going to do select all, Control A, edit, copy, Control C. And we're going to come back to here, and we're going to paste it in, edit, Control V. Okay, we're going to change our blending mode to lighten. Okay, so you can see here that the camera moved, right? We are going to fix this though. Okay, so what we're going to do to fix this is we're going to make the star trails darker. So we're going to come over here to our image adjustments levels, and we are going to really darken that sky so that the sky kind of matches the color that's already there. So if you can see how dark that is, right? So we want our star trails to be really dark and kind of blending in. Now, that means that our star trails are going to end up being a little darker, but that's okay. They still stand out pretty good. We're going to go ahead and add a layer mask to this. And then we're going to go in with our brush tool. We're going to make our brush tool a very low opacity of like maybe 20%. And we're going to go in with, make sure our hardness is set to 0, and we're going to make sure we got a nice soft big brush, maybe around, I don't know, 1,000. See if that's, yeah, 1,000's about good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to slowly take that out, and maybe I need to do black. Yeah, black over white. And we're going to take out this little line that we see here where the star trails ended. And we're going to just kind of gradually just blend the end of the star trails into our sky here. And we're going to keep this beautiful sunset that's at the bottom here. This is a fantasy image, okay? So that's totally fine. Now I'm going to make a much smaller brush because I want to get rid of some of these little tiny trails that are down here. I'm just going to get rid of these little ones. And there we go. So now I'm going to back out, Control minus, and there we go. We've got these really cool. Now, what we could try to do possibly to intensify those star trails is duplicate our layer. And let's see if that helped. Not really. Didn't really help. So let's get rid of that. Never mind. That idea didn't work. And there we go. We were able to blend in some star trails, but at the same time, kind of keep this cool sunset at the very bottom here. and at the same time blend in our star trails, and then also have our spaceman. Now you're going to make sure you want to save this. You're going to do a file, save as, and you're going to call this image single space man star trail. So single space man star trail underscore your first initial last name. And then you're going to save. Okay. And then once you save it, you are going to need to turn this into the share drive.